Stephen Hawking, a name that changed how we see the universe, not with strength, but with pure brilliance. His story is not just science, it's courage and an unstoppable will to live and think freely. He was born on January 8, 1942, in Oxford, England, exactly 300 years after the death of Galileo. His parents were both academics. The Hawking home was full of books. Even during meals, they often read in silence. Stephen was curious from a young age. He wanted to understand how things worked. At school, he wasn't always the best student, but his mind was sharp and playful. They called him Einstein at school. By the time he was a teenager, his love for physics was clear. He studied at Oxford. There, he enjoyed rowing and solving problems. He wasn't serious about studying at first, but he passed with honors. Then he moved to Cambridge for graduate studies. That's where everything changed. At just 21 years old, Stephen began feeling clumsy. He fell, dropped things. He slurred his speech. Doctors diagnosed him with ALS, a rare motor neuron disease. They gave him just 2 years to live. It was a death sentence. But Stephen didn't give up. Instead, he turned his focus inward, to his mind. His body would fail, but his thoughts would reach the stars. He married Jane Wilde, a fellow student. She gave him strength to keep going. Together, they started a family. He continued his work, and that work would soon change science forever. Stephen studied black holes. At the time, few understood them. He proposed that black holes emit radiation. This became known as Hawking radiation. It shocked the scientific world. If true, it meant black holes could slowly evaporate. It combined Einstein's relativity and quantum mechanics, two theories once thought to be incompatible. His work was groundbreaking. He was elected to the Royal Society at just 32. Despite his disease, he continued to teach and write. His speech slowly disappeared. But he gained a computerized voice. That voice became iconic. In 1988, he published A Brief History of Time. It aimed to explain the universe to the general public. No complex math, just big ideas in simple language. It became a bestseller. Over 25 million copies sold. People around the world were inspired. Stephen didn't stop. He wrote more books. He gave lectures. He appeared in shows like The Simpsons and Star Trek. He even voiced himself. He had a great sense of humor. In his later years, his condition worsened. But he kept working. He traveled. He met presidents, popes, and even astronauts. He advocated for science, education, and disability rights. He warned of dangers too, like artificial intelligence, and the need for space exploration. His ideas went beyond the lab. He believed the universe had no boundaries. That time itself may have had a beginning and an end. But he also believed in hope, in the human ability to think, adapt, and wonder. Stephen once said, "Look up at the stars and not down at your feet." He lived by that, even when he couldn't walk, even when he couldn't speak. On March 14, 2018, Stephen Hawking died at age 76. The world mourned. Not just a scientist, but a symbol of what the human mind can achieve. His ashes were buried at Westminster Abbey, between Charles Darwin and Isaac Newton, a fitting place for a man who reached beyond the stars. His life taught us that the limits of the body are not the limits of the mind, that curiosity is stronger than fear, that we are all capable of greatness, even in the face of impossible odds. Stephen Hawking defied time, defied gravity, defied expectation, and gave us a new way to see ourselves in the universe.